Great morning. Hopefully I didn't wake the neighbors, but it's time to get up anyway. Happy Monday. I'm just getting my notebook ready for the Nuggets. It's officially Triple M, Monday Morning Motivation. I'm your host, Aubrey. Roxy's coming over right now. I got my sweater on because it's a little cold here in LA, and I got my shake and my tea ready because I'm ready to get my nutrients for my body and the nutrients for my mind. We got a great speaker today. His name is Lopez. We've listened to him a few times. He's actually one of the guys that I really respect for his mindset, his commitment to bettering others, and also his commitment to being a learner. He's the guy, if you ever seen on YouTube, hey, I'm here with my Ferrari. And I always used to skip that video until somebody tells me he's actually talking about some cool stuff, because right after that he says, hey, the cars are cool, but it's really these books over here. And I was really inspired because we have a library right here. And my dad used to make me read when I was a kid a National Geographic article every single day when I got back from school, and I had to tell him the takeaways from him when he got home. I used to hate it. I'd be like, I don't want to read this stuff. I used to skim through it, first page and the last page, and I'd tell him the highlights. And years later, I told him, Dad, I didn't even read most of those articles. He just started laughing. But I said, you know what? Thank you, because that instilled in me the importance of reading. And I know on our tablets and our phones now, and we got audiobooks and YouTube and all that stuff is great. But I'm going to tell you guys, when you read and you intake new knowledge, you're having conversation with some of the most wise people in the world of all time, whether they're alive or not. So that was the main thing that piqued my interest about this gentleman, because of his commitment to learning. And then now he has all the nice stuff with the cars and all that stuff, which is cool. You know, it's one of his motivations. But he's going to tell us about his top 10 nuggets. Lopez, get your notebook because we got so many new people on the call. This is how we do it. We're going to listen to him. We're going to share some feedback, but then we're going to hear from some of you guys, and I'm excited to hear from some new people. So if you've never shared before, if you only shared once or twice, you're sharing today. Yes, you are sharing today because we want to hear from you, and your perspective matters. So without further ado, let's get to my man, Lopez. Break it down, Nuggets.
Mentors is one of the biggest predictors of your success. He's Lopez, and here are his top 10 rules for success.
Life is very short. I see people going, oh, I'm 22, I only have, I have all the world in front of me. You don't. First of all, tomorrow's not guaranteed, but more importantly, the age with which people are starting to become entrepreneurs. I read there's a kid, he made a nuclear power plant in San Francisco. He's 17 years old. That's your new competitor. So increase your sense of urgency as an intangible.
I need to practice. Remember, before the day comes, you got to practice. You cannot be standing at the free throw line playing professional basketball in the 7th game of the NBA championship and to hope right then you're going to be practicing. Practice is too late. Larry Bird the great basketball player, he used to shoot, 1,000 free throws. 8 in the morning. My friend Don Ravine trains a lot of the pro basketball players. LeBron James, he trains Durant, Kobe, Chris Paul. And he says these guys are up when everybody else is sleeping, they're practicing. So everything you want is going to entail a good bit of practice. So the second thing you have to do is people have to understand insurance. And I'm not just talking about life insurance or health insurance. I'm saying you have to protect what you already have. So some people, like Warren Buffett says, you only have to get rich once. So when you do well and you make money, have insurance by save some of it for a rainy day. That's insurance. I did a video on that. That was the most important, because there was a few times in my life where I got really, I would say really high up in the pyramid, right? And then fell back. Yeah. And I fell back. I did a video on it. Maybe I'll put a link in it in the description. 3 times I went way up the pyramid and fell back. I didn't. Insurance. Well, now you can tell people don't. And Mark Cuban, who became a billionaire, he owns the Dallas Mavericks and different stuff. He sold a company, like a sports radio program, and he was paid in shares of Yahoo. Oh. And so they paid him all these shares, which were worth a lot of money at the time. But shares can go up and down. So he had one mentor, a financial advisor, who said, no, listen, you should buy insurance on this. So there's a way to do that with stock options. And sure enough, those shares of Yahoo had been paid in dropped to almost worthless. But he had locked in the value with insurance. So he's still a billionaire, we know now. So lock in what you have. Increase your courage. Harden up a little bit. Take a cold shower. Don't always take a warm shower. Acclimate your mind and your body to doing things that are harder. You know, one of my friends who's one of the most successful people in a young startup, but made $1 billion valuation on a company in 5 years. Whenever we're talking about new ideas we're going to do next, if I say, oh, that's going to be easy, why don't we do that? He says, Ty, there's no money in what's easy. Focus on these intangibles, you know, the ability to have a ton of courage. He said the secret to success is get hold of something and hang on. Just hang on. If somebody wants it, hang on to it. It's worth as much to you as it is to anybody who wants it. I have to think in the world now where everybody's idea of a business is make a business. I'm going to buy a piece of real estate. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to do it 1 week later. I'm going to buy a stock and short sale. This guy had a completely different approach. Get a hold of something and hang on to it. And if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they follow that strategy. Bill Gates gave up very little shares in Microsoft. He owned, I think, 60% of it, even at its peak. He may have sold since then, but he got a hold of something and didn't let go. And he says, and again, that's the opposite of mentality that most people have. Warren Buffett has the same thing. He buys businesses that he would want to hold on to forever. You got to get good. We talked about this, getting good at one thing. But this guy was saying, I've heard this. This is a new, remember I said you got to create voices in your head? This is a voice. This Jack Simplot. They even put it on the back of the book. Grab a hold to something and hang on. If you don't have something to grab a hold of, you better freak out and find something to grab a hold of. It can be an occupation. It can be a movement. It can be a charity. It can be a business. It can be an invention. It could be a piece of art. But grab hold of something and do not let go. Now, make sure you grab on the right thing, because if you grab on the wrong thing, you're in for some trouble. But have some investment. Don't spend all your cash so that when a good deal comes up, you have the money to buy. If you're an artist, if you're a farmer, if you're an actor, whatever, you're going to need some cash. Don't spend it all and get a hold of something. People who are successful have extraordinary imaginative vision. And Elon Musk calls it a more complicated term, which is arguing from first causes, not analogy. So here's what arguing from analogy or not having extraordinary imaginative vision. Let's say you're in a horrible place. You were sleeping in your car. Yeah. I was sleeping on a couch. Someone born in ghetto. Someone born in poor part of India. If you argue from arguing from analogy means, well, everybody around me is doing bad. I'm doing bad. Therefore, I'm going to always do bad. That's arguing from analogy, and that's not having imaginative vision. The people who make it are the people who do the opposite. They go, I'm going to argue from first causes. I'm going to say, has anybody ever risen up from the ashes out of the ghetto or from the couch or from the car? The answer is we all know that story. So if somebody else did it, then if you use extraordinary creative imagination, then why can't you do it too? And that's arguing from first causes. That's what allowed Elon Musk to make Tesla, spaceships, Solar City. So for all of us, we get stuck when we argue from analogy. Well, last time I started a business, it failed. Last time I trusted somebody, they betrayed me. Well, that's good. That's arguing from analogy. That's just saying because it happened before, it's going to happen. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you do it better. You double down on your brain. You learn from the mistakes of others and your mistakes. And the next thing, you create something new. And that's where wealth comes from. Not just wealth in your bank account. Wealth of happiness, love, health, everything you want.
Remember, change your mind, change your life. Everybody wants to change life, but you have to change your mind. Humans are different because we have powerful minds. And sometimes that gets us in trouble. But if you pull it off right, it can bring you those things that you need in life, those things that you're missing, Everybody wants the good life. Like I say in my TEDx talk, everybody wants the good life, but not everybody gets the good life because most people aren't willing to do the stuff that it takes. They're not willing to put in the time, put in the grind.
Do not be a 450-pound person making fun of other people for being overweight. Just focus on yourself and learn from the world. Don't take that attitude of, Oh, really? Nobody great is going to prove their point to you for the most part. They're going to say what they have to say. This guy's dead. He does not care what you think about his book. If you're able to go through this and glean 3 things that change your life forever, then that's great for you. So have that attitude of, look for aha moments at every moment in your day. I started keeping a billboard with my staff, and I'm like, guys, it's getting lopsided. Look at and I put a little mark every time I had a good idea for the business. And I'm like, I want your side to have more than mine. There's no rule that I have to have all the good ideas. Be innovative. Be innovative. Read books like this. Find little innovations for your own life.
Most people are patiently impatient, which I'm pretty sure is a recipe for a horrible life. What you have to be is the opposite. It sounds identical to be impatiently patient versus patiently impatient, but it makes all the difference in the world. So what I wish someone had told me is, look, like John Wood had said, be quick but not in a hurry. 99% of people do is they act as if they have all the time in the world. So people are like patient. You see people, you're like, well, when are you going to make your move on life? They're like, well, I've got to wait for 2 things to go. So they're patient. But then when real opportunities arise that they can identify, instead of patiently waiting and building them step by step like sculpting a sculpture, they hastily jump into them. They don't put the hard work in. They don't build the foundation and the structure. So that's when they are impatient. What I suggest you try instead is the exact opposite. Freak out if you're not getting the dreams that you wish you had. Right? So freak out like so today. Don't even say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to get good at this. Freak out now, but then patiently build. So I can just go through a million things in my life, breaking them down. One of them is setting far off goals. When you set a 10-year goal, you're just basically giving yourself an excuse to 8 years into it and be like, well, I'm still on track because I got 2 years more. No. Look, people who write big things make almost always an immediate action towards the goal. Once you immediately freak out, you immediately take action. And step number 2, you can patiently move through each cycle. And I recommend you can go through a full cycle. Peter Drucker says a good time frame is 18 months. Enough time that things can kick in. But it's not so long that you lose the predictive power of goals. Goals are trying to get predictive power. So therein, I think, lies the happy medium. You're setting your 67-day goals, which are really fast. You watch this at midnight. Start at midnight. What are you waiting for? Make haste slowly. Be quick, but not in a hurry. So there's this myth of the solo entrepreneur. I'm like, one good idea, I'm going to go out, or I'm going to come up with this one invention. I was just reading a book, I think it was by Craig Venter, or one of these big biotech guys, and he said, there's this huge myth that their great breakthroughs happen from one person having an individual moment of genius. Stephen Johnson talks about this a lot in his book, Where Good Ideas Come From. Almost all great ideas come from some collaborative effect. And so the best way to create a collaborative effect is for you to take what you know and clone it out to 3 or 4 people or 5 people, or at least one person. Even if you, let's say, for example, hypothetically, you could get 2 people to know 50% of what you know, to be 50% as effective as you. Well, guess what? 2 people at 50% is another one of you. And you look out at the world and you go, man, all the things that could be accomplished if I just could didn't have to sleep. I could work 24 hours a day, or I could go out there. Joel Salatin told me that when he was here at Thai. I don't know how people sleep with all the opportunities. And so Joel, my first mentor, he created his protege, was his son Daniel, who now runs the operations and frees Joel up to be in the big picture. And the company, their farm is more successful, Polyface Farm, and Joel's able to do other things. You have to be able to do that.
Thank you so much for watching. I made this video because Terrell Coleman asked me to. So if there's a famous entrepreneur that...
Man, nuggets on nuggets, you guys. Ty is one of my favorite. All right, what do you got for us?
All right, so let me pull out my notebook.
Let's see what the nuggets are.
Oh, man, I got so many. All right, so I'm going to start off with this one. It said, have an extraordinary imaginative vision. And he said, the people who make it use extraordinary creative vision. You know, most of the times we operate from, well, this happened in the past, so this can't happen to me. So instead of using our imagination and taking on the things of like, well, if this person can do it, I can do it. And I'm going to create that imagination and extraordinary vision for my life. And the biggest thing with that is that we, every single day, are creating our future. I just saw my mom this past weekend. I think it was on Saturday, and I was talking to her, and she was talking to me about a friend, and she's like, well, she doesn't have money, and like making up all of these excuses as to why she was broke, she doesn't have money, and all this stuff. I was like, Mom, I was like, people are the way they are because they choose to be the way that they are. I'm like, she chooses to have her life that way. She chooses not to have money. She chooses not to go out and seek opportunity because the opportunities are there. I was like, so stop handicapping people and enabling people and making excuses for what their life is not. They chose it. And every single time, like, I have to like get through with her on those things because I see her and the way that she says, well, this person's this, and feeling bad for them. And to be honest, I don't feel bad for anyone because you are where you are because of the decisions and the choices that you've made inside of your life. And if you choose not to change your life, it's up to you. It's your choice. So you either get to create an extraordinary vision for your life, or you keep operating from the past and feeling sorry for yourself and saying, my life is this way because this, and that, pointing all the fingers, but never pointing the finger at you. So that was one. And then number two, I really loved how he talked about, let me see, increase your courage. I thought that was awesome. He's like, don't always take a hot shower, like take a cold shower. Do things that increase your courage, that make you strong. Maybe if you're intimidated on like talking to people, talk to people. Do things that the things that you would normally not do. That way you keep on growing, increasing your courage and increasing your strength of who you're becoming. So those are my takeaways.
Nuggets. I got to stand up because this dude fired me up. So I got 3 points for you. I'm about to go in right now. So if you don't know, I'm about to go in. I got to up my energy because we're about to get this deep. So number one, increase your sense of urgency. He said people always talking about, oh, yeah, I got this time and this time. He talked about a 17-year-old who started a nuclear power plant in San Francisco. Now, it's not about the power plant, but it is about the 17-year-old. Why? Because that is your new competition. I see it over and over and over. People complain. They're upset. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough money. There's not enough this. There's not enough that. You know why? Because they haven't continued to update themselves. And so what happens is you got to remember there's 7.3 billion people on the planet. And now we're getting all connected with the internet. So what is it? You're not competing with your neighbor anymore for that job or to start that business. You're competing with the world. And the competition is going to keep evolving. And if you don't update your skills, get like hungry, like, yo, I got to go right now. I got to be on Triple M right now. I got to get a new book right now. I need to do it now. You will be left in the dust. And I see it over and over and over. And then people complain that they don't have this or they don't have that. It's because they didn't wake up and say, you know what? I can't keep putting my future off. If you're not happy with where you're at, when are you going to get upset about it? I see people, and I'm like, y'all not even upset. I have patients inside of physical therapy, and I go to their homes, and it's kind of bittersweet because I love helping them, and some of them like to do the work. Most of them don't. But I go in there, and you know what? It's like God is reminding me to never get comfortable because I go in there, and there's some of these places I'm like, man, I would never want to come here. I don't even like going there, let alone living there. Do you guys get that? And there's people that have to do that for life. They're living in places they don't like. They're at places they don't love. And they never got hungry enough to say, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm not going to live like this anymore. It's not going to be someday when I get my goals and dreams. When are you going to say, you know what? I'm tired of not having what I want. I'm tired of not going where I want. I'm tired of not being what I want. And I'm not going to wait until someday when the opportunity comes and knocks on my door at 8 a.m. in the morning and wakes me up out of bed. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to go and do whatever I got to do to take steps toward my goals and dreams. When is that going to happen for you? That happened for me 4 years ago when I started Herbalife. I was working 3 jobs. I had no time, and I sat there and looked at, like, when are you going to get what you want? You don't want to be working all the time. You don't want to have 30 minutes at the end of the day for yourself, and that's it. When are you going to wake up, Aubrey? You went to school, you worked hard, but now you're here. It's not going to change unless you change it. You got to have that epiphany. You got to say and sit to yourself, yo, this ain't going to change unless I change it. Your boss ain't going to change it. Your parents ain't going to change it. Your significant other ain't going to change it. Nobody's going to change it for you. Nobody. And the minute people start realizing that, they'll get a sense of urgency. That's why people don't have urgency. That's why. So that was a nugget. Next one. Everyone wants the good life, but not everyone gets the good life. This is so true. Think about it in your life. Who do you know that's living a life they don't love and been doing it for a while? I know a lot of people. This is why. And this is where it gets real. Everybody's not willing to put in the work. I'm going to be super real with you guys, and some people might even get their feelings hurt a little bit. I only say it because I love you. If you watch your TV, if you watching movies all the time, if you got every Netflix movie down, if you watching all the sports, if you doing all this stuff, that's why. That's why. I look around on Sunday, and I haven't had a TV for 4 years. You know why? Because I looked around when people were watching TV. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the time I could be getting towards my dreams. This is the time right now. I can't complain that I don't have time, that it's not possible for me when there's time. I'm sitting, watching somebody else live their dreams. That's their dream, to go throw the football, catch the ball, run, do the pass, do the race, do whatever. That's their dream. And I'm sitting, doing nothing, watching them. I go over to my dad's house, and I love my dad to death, but I had to stop saying it because I'm like, he don't even care. Like, that's what he wants, but I'm sitting there like, how long are you going to sit here and watch other people? I'm telling you that. How long are you going to sit there and watch other people until you say, you know what? I'm a jump up off the bench and get in the game. I'm tired of sitting on the bench, because that's what you're doing when you watch other people. I have so many patients that are seniors, a lot of them Hispanic, and they watch novellas all day. They watch novellas all day. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but I am saying, do you want a life where you watch other people live? That's basically what they're doing. Watching other people live instead of them living. They're not in a relationship. They're not having an experience. They're not going on an adventure. They're sitting on their ass, and they're watching somebody else do it. And I go in there, I'm like blown away. I'm like, what did you do today? Nada. I watched novellas, and I'm like, yo. And you guys might be like, damn, how could they do that? Are you doing that? And the only reason I can say that, guess what? I was overweight as a kid, and I did it. I used to play Sony PlayStation. I used to watch all the Simpsons episodes, Home Improvement, all that stuff. And I would sit there, and I said, Aubrey, when is it going to be your turn? When are you going to get all that stuff you've been looking at? And that's what it has to be. You got to be willing to do that. Do you guys look around? There's no TV in here. Why? I refuse to watch other people live a life I want to live. I'm here to live it, not watch it. You weren't put here to be a contender, just watch. You weren't put here to be a citizen on the bench. You weren't put here to be a spectator. And if you're living like a spectator right now, you're not living your purpose. And I see so many people that come to me and say, yo, I want this, I want that. And then I'm thinking in my head, you got 24 hours in a day. How much time are you putting towards your goals and dreams? People in Herbalife like, yeah, I want to make this, I want to make that. You put in 1 hour a week. 1 hour a week. I know you do. I know you do. Because you know what? The people that are putting it in, if you put in the work, there's no way you can stop your success. There's no way. You cannot stop it. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Just get to work because you want it now. You want it now because the good life can't wait. So those are my nuggets. I know I got a little passionate. Ty fired me up. So let's get a few takeaways from the call. Who's excited to share?
Passionate.
Let's get it. Who's excited to share? I'm up here sweating. That hot tea got me on one. I'm fired up and ready to get it. Give me a smile. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to share. Armani, let's get it. What you got?
What's up, guys? It's Armani from the IE. Man, that was great job, man. Great job, Dr. Obbs. That was awesome.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, got the electrifying energy right there. Real talk.
Let's get it.
So for a couple of my nuggets is increasing your courage. That one really got me when he was just talking about do things like Roxy was saying that you're not comfortable with, like, you know, get uncomfortable to get comfortable, which is really different, which is really awesome. Same thing with change your mindset, change your life, like Garen always says. And this everything he was actually talking about, it has made so much sense because if you think about like whatever he was saying, it legit just made sense on how if you apply it to your life, it's just gonna automatically get better. And there was just so much. Honestly, I can't even like pick a certain one. But man, you fired me up.
Let's get it, Armani. Great nuggets. Great work. Let's get 1 to 2 more shares. Give me a thumbs up, a smile if you're excited to share. Shalonda, let's get it. What you got?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay. My biggest takeaway was number 3, protect what you have. You know, your dreams, your goals, your blessings. Most importantly, protect your heart. You know, that's your secret place. Just saying that don't allow negativity or any of that junk inside your secret place. Guard it, and you'll be surprised how things change around you.
Nice. Secret place, guard it. There is a part that you need to keep protected. Dope. I love that. Great stuff. Let's get one more share. Give me a thumbs up. Lawrence, what's up, bro? What you got?
Hey, what's up, Dr. Obbs? I actually got into the conversation when I seen your conviction. I was kind of late. I had to drop my niece off. But from the JKO, I remember Collie Blaking talking about clearing and creating, that nothing in the past affects what you create today. Mm-hmm. And the mind and the heart are much like the soil of the earth, basically. What you plant in it, it doesn't care what you plant in it. What you sow is what you reap. So if you're convicted, you can't sell something unless you're convicted and you believe in it. You can't believe in something unless you're convicted in it. So, I mean, your drive of how you create your mindset and how you react to situations is what's going to fold over tenfold. So always pay it forward, because don't be afraid to consistently reach out. And like I said, it all comes back to, if you're not convicted, you're not going to believe in it.
Yep. Dope.
And you see your conviction all the way, man. You push us all.
Appreciate that, Lawrence. Great stuff. He said the soil doesn't care what you put in it. The garden's not going to come and say, hold up, that's some negative stuff. And all you got to put in it is you got to be an intentional and mindful gardener of your soil. That comes back to all that stuff. I don't know if you guys have listened to the radio, music, movies, TV. I've been looking at because I haven't listened to it or watched it for so long, I'm more aware of the detriments of it. Like if you listen to some of the stuff they're saying, if you watch some of the stuff they're doing, like I'm going to tell you, this is when it hits me, like novellas, I'm going to go back to that. Why do I go back to that? Because all it's about is cheating, women getting cheated on, guys being womanizers, money, a guy with a lot of money coming to find a girl that's poor and taking her out. So what does this make people think? That makes people think that's true. I just got to sit here and do this whack job, and one day somebody's going to come and take me to my dreams, and I'm not going to have to worry about anything. Not to worry. Don't even think about all the cheating and all the womanizing and all that stuff. What do you think is going to happen to you? And that's what people just like zombies, like, nah. Like, yo, that's what you're putting in your brain. So I'm telling you guys, I'm so fired up. I hope you guys had a great day. It's time to get this. Like, we in the third week of 2017. My mom was like, yeah, yesterday it's third week of 2017. You guys are going to look up. We're going to look up. It's going to be halfway. It's going to be the third quarter of 2017. It's going to be the winter. You're about, okay, 2018. Don't let this be that year, y'all. Don't let this be that year. It's third week right now. If you've been on your goals for the year, keep going. If you drop the ball, pick it up right now. Let's get back on it. All right? Last one, Britt shared, I love when he said, acclimate your mind and body into things it's not accustomed to. Get used to being unused to things. Love it. Ashley said, no one comes to save you. Move into your dreams and vision. Love you guys. Awesome. I'm going to post a recording, repost it, take some of these things and repost it. Like Ty said, put your stuff forward. Post a flyer, post a takeaway on Instagram. Invite people. Let's pack this call every Monday. Let's get, I broke somebody's heart. Yeah. Because you know what? I don't know who's going to do it for you. I don't know who's going to do it for you. The TV company ain't going to do it. They want you on that. The consumer, the Walmart, and the shops, they want you on it. They're not going to tell you to stop. Your boss ain't going to tell you to stop because they need you to want things, so you come to work to do something you don't like to do, to get that paycheck, to go buy some more stuff you don't really need. Like, you got to realize nobody's in your corner but you. The only people that are probably in your corner are your parents, if you have a relationship with them, but honestly, they come from a different era. You got to realize they're not even in the same era. They don't understand the shift. They're used to the 40 years and retire. They're used to that. Do you want that? If you don't want what your parents have, you can't even take their advice. Not that you don't love them. You just got to wake up and say, wait a minute, who's in my corner? Who's going to save me? Nobody. You. And Triple M. Let's get it. Have a great day. I'm going to unmute everybody. Let's get some energy. Where y'all at?
Let's go.
Get it.